Hello, my name is Chris Cameron and I run Fired Up Fishing Charters, and today we had a bunch of kingfish yesterday. Just got around to cleaning them today, and I'm going to show you how to finally go from a kingfish of about an average size, good eating size anyway, from this to filleted to finally a nice chunk of meat that you could finally grill. So basically like any other fish, and this is a kingfish by the way. Like I said, it's a good sized fish to eat. The little smaller ones are actually a little easier to work with, but we had them up to 40 pounds, and I use those for smoking. So, and there's also a different way that I fillet them for smoking, but I'm going to fillet these out for the grill. So just like any other fish, I'm going to run the inside part of the back. And I don't have my good knife with me today, but just run all the way down to where you feel the backbone. I'm going to go right through the backbone, messing this one up. Now, a lot of people don't like to eat kingfish because it's oily, and it is oily. But if you eat it fresh, if you don't freeze it, keep it cold from the time you catch it to the time you finally clean it, it's not a bad fish on the grill, as long as you season it up a little bit. And it also makes a awesome fish dip. And I'm going to be putting the recipes online here real soon on all the ways I cook kingfish. I don't have my good knife on me today, but that'll work. Alright, so now here's my slab of king. I got the bloodline running down the middle, and some of the cartilage bones is down the middle. I want to get all that out, so all we're eventually left with is a chunk of meat. If I go down to the skin, I turn the blade, and I run it back out. So the skin's gone, and the bloodline's still in there. I'll finish this piece out. Whatever way you're comfortable filleting a fish or skinning a fish, there's 10 different ways to do it. Don't forget about your pelicans. Alright, once you have your chunks, I'm actually going to come right down, take the blue line off, and go on an angle. It's all gone. I'll have a little piece of skin on now, I'll get that all over. My big thing with kingfish is you got to keep it really cold. Once you freeze the kingfish, they usually kind of turn them a little mushy, and that's the ones I use when I smoke them. That's it. Finish these up. Now another thing before we throw the fish away in the water, you're supposed to pop behind the eyes. They got that air bladder back there. You want to make sure they sink. Otherwise they float all over the port and they stink. And if you look at the teeth too, I'm going to cut my hand open, but pretty good sized teeth. Another way when I cook these, so I'll take these home just before I get ready to cook them. So I'll take the chunks like this, and I'll come right down and make little slices like that, little chunks. And I'll lay them out in a little bit of butter in a pan, throw your seasoning on that, a little blackening seasoning. each piece, and we put them in a tortilla, and we got fish tacos, and that's the way we eat them.
Last night out of the blue, drifting off to the evening news, she said, honey, what would you do if you'd have never met me? I just laughed, said, I don't know, I could take a couple guesses though, and then tried to dig real deep. Said, darling, honestly, I do a lot more offshore fishing, and probably eat more drive-through chicken, take a few strokes off my golf game. If I'd have never known your name, I'd still be driving that old green Nova. I probably never would have heard of yoga. I'd be a better football fan. But if I was a single man, alone and out there on the loose, well, I'd be looking for a woman like you. I could tell that got her attention, so I said, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I wouldn't trade a single day for 100 years the other way. She just smiled and rolled her eyes, 'cause she's heard all of my lines. I said, come on girl, seriously, if I hadn't been so lucky, I'd be shooting pool in my bachelor pad, playing bass in my cover band, stocking up cold Bud Light for poker every Tuesday night, yeah. I'd have a dirt bike in the shed, not one throw pillow on the bed. I keep my cash in a coffee can. But if I was a single man, alone and out there on the loose, well, I'd be